Hello everyone and welcome to the second eMatch, this exhibition match of the 2013 season of the XWA on YouTube. And tonight we showcase two of the up-and-coming rising young stars of the XWA. Making his way to the ring, the impact player, the man named Kevin Lassiter, right now one half of the #1 contenders for the XWA Tag Team Championship. Of course, his partner, the ever popular Christian Phoenix. Together they form the School of Hardstyle, naming themselves after the very academy in which both men trained in preparation for competition here in the XWA. That, of course, is a school that's ran currently by John Payne. And Lassiter, who is definitely one of the more unorthodox individuals here in the current era of the XWA. You can tell just from his appearance that this guy, he marches to his own drummer. And his opponent is going to be a man who we will be seeing for the very first time. This will be his XWA debut. And I can tell you one thing just by looking at him backstage. He's ready to make a big first impression here tonight. And that man goes by the name of Drake Manning, a product of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This young man prides himself on being from that fabled city, in that fabled country that is rich in professional wrestling history. He says that he has idolized the legends that have came from the Great White North, the Bret Harts, Owen Harts, Lance Storms, the names of the wrestlers that have made names for themselves from Canada is long, and Manning hopes to be on that list someday, he says. And of course, that first step to that long trip begins here tonight. And now both men standing in the ring, the jackets are off and the referee calls for the bell. And this first male exhibition match begins. Both men collar and elbow in the center of the ring, and Lassiter takes control. Lassiter now hoisting Manning up and dropping him down with a vertical suplex, executing some serious power there. And as I said before, Kevin Lassiter is a very unorthodox competitor within the ranks of the XWA, and probably one of the most versatile as well. He prides himself on being an offensive innovator, very unique style, mixing technical wrestling with brawling martial arts. He does a little bit of everything. I know I say that about a lot of guys in the XWA. Certainly a whole bunch of hybrids within the men's division, but Kevin Lassiter really stands out amongst the crowd as he takes an enziguri right there from Drake Manning. Once again making his debut here. First time we're ever seeing him in action. And he delivers a beautiful sleeper slam and hard lariat. Lassiter right back to his feet though, and takes a series of shots, a spinning kick right there. And Manning is feeling it right now, floating over into a neck breaker. Like I said, he wants to make a big first impression here in his debut match. And what a debut it would be if he can score a victory against a half of the team that could be the new tag team champions. Lassiter reversing, using that forward momentum from the ropes into a bulldog and then a front drop kick right to the face of Drake Manning. And Lassiter, definitely a thinking man's wrestler, using that shoulder in the corner. And Lassiter, an impaler DDT right out of the gates. Following up with a big boot right there. And now Lassiter's got the momentum. Goading Manning on. And whatever it was that Kevin Lassiter was going to do, Manning was one step ahead. Reverses. And now a knee right to the face by the man from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Manning now taking the back, but going forward and delivering a shining wizard. What execution. Shades of the legendary KG Muto. And now Manning hoisting him up into a Canadian neck breaker. Wow. The sheer power that it takes to pull off a move like that, and that could be enough for the win right there. Or not. Lassiter managing to get his shoulder up at the count of 2. And now Manning. Oh! Shoulder block from Lassiter outside of the ring into the barricade. Follows up with a springboard flipping senton. And a code breaker. And an elbow. Right now, Drake Manning has got it firing on all cylinders. He's just absolutely on fire here. But just as he gains momentum, here comes Kevin Lassiter with another one of those bulldogs. And now whipping Manning back onto the apron in a prone position, and that's not going to end well. Boot right to the temple. And now some punches to the other side of the temple. And Kevin Lassiter now is showing that aggression that is probably one of his biggest weaknesses. If anything, he is a bit of a hothead out there in the ring. And sometimes that comes back to bite him. Even though you're not really seeing that much of a flaw in that aggression here. And now Lassiter showing off to the crowd as he's taking control. And delivering another one of those big boots right to the face of Drake Manning. And another drop kick. Just pouring on this offensive onslaught. As I said before, he is definitely unorthodox with his approach in the ring. Definitely not a traditional wrestler. And that is not a traditional wrestling maneuver. He calls that deep impact. And could that be enough for victory for him? No. Only a 2 count. But Lassiter right back on the attack again. Front headlock. And a spinning wheel kick. Again targeting that rather handsome face of Drake Manning. I certainly noticed that the female fans have taken a liking to him so far. But Manning suddenly regaining his composure again. And that signature maneuver he calls the code red. What's he going to do here? He's going to slap on, is that? Yes, it is. A crossface. Well, to be more specific, he calls it the Canadian crossface. Obviously shades of another, one could say, legendary Canadian wrestler whose name will not be mentioned due to controversial reasons, but a effective submission maneuver nonetheless, even though Lassiter did not tap out, but Manning applying the crossface again after an Irish whip. If it doesn't work once, maybe it might work twice. He is torquing that arm and the neck, and look at how much pain Lassiter is in right now. But yet he somehow manages to maneuver himself out, and you definitely have to credit that to the training that he's gotten at the School of Hardstyle from John Payne, a submission specialist in his own right, of course, a hybrid professional wrestler and heavyweight contender in mixed martial arts. And now Lassiter trying to answer back with a submission maneuver of his own. This one, a camel clutch, sticking with the classics and torquing on Manning's neck. But Drake Manning now fighting his way out of that submission hold. And Manning front headlock, answering back with one of his own again. This one an abdominal stretch center of the ring. Keeping it simple again, but now it seems that these guys are trading submission holds here. You don't see that happen too much, ladies and gentlemen, but like I said, these guys definitely want to make an impression here as the XWA approaches the beginning of its 2013 season. And now Lassiter. Could you call that a brain buster? I don't know. It looks like a suplex, it looks like a DDT, but whatever it was freaking painful. And so is that. Another impaler. Dropping Manning on his head again. And that has got to be taking its toll. Deep impact for the second time in this match. And this time, I think, might be the finisher. The finisher. But wait, Manning back on his feet. And now both men trading shots. Drake Manning gaining a second win. And now another series of attacks. That spinning kick again. And another code red by Manning, who is looking like, wait a second, now Lassiter back on his feet. The adrenaline is pumping between these two men, and you gotta figure that sooner or later someone is going to do something to get themselves a victory here, and this could be it. Wait, no. Lassiter, he looked like he was trying to regain some momentum, but now Manning slaps on the Canadian crossface again, and this time Lassiter doesn't have enough in the tank to escape. He taps out, and Drake Manning scores his first XWA victory, but it wasn't a battle. These two men trading shots, not just in this exchange, but throughout the entire match, trading big moves, haymakers, submissions, you name it. There goes the code red, and then there goes the deciding factor there. Manning countering that rush by Lassiter and applying the Canadian crossface yet again, and this time it scores him a victory. And there you see the triumphant Drake Manning, arms raised in the air. He wanted to make a first impression. I think he succeeded in doing just that. A lot of high aspirations and expectations by Manning of himself and amongst these fans, and so far I'd say he's off to a good start. That's going to do it for this eMatch of the XWA 2013 on YouTube. This is 3X signing off.